has happened. You know, it's really weird. You're yeah, man. You you're very smart, way beyond your years, bro. Because we're all like we were 30 years younger back then. You know what I mean? It was just like and I'm thinking, who's this guy telling me what to do? And he would say everything you learned was wrong. Oh, and I hated that, brother. I hated when they used to tell me over. Remember that shit? and little by little, it was hard for me to listen because I ran my own game all my life. That's just who I was. I took what I wanted. I was who I wanted to be. And Bernard said, no, you got to become a person in society. People like you don't exist in society. You exist in your little world. He goes, there's so much bigger world out there. And I see, and back in my time, all I had was, my neighborhood. And I didn't know anything outside of that. And he made me explore that. And man, what the most beautiful, I was seeing some of the most beautiful things that I wish everybody could see, because we were really in our own little prison. He would say that. And I say, wait a minute, go where I want. And really, where did I go? I went in a 2-mile radius, you know what I mean? It was, and he would tell me that, and I said, we're cool. And I'm cruising up and down the neighborhood all day long, and you got to get out there, man. You got to learn. And then another thing he taught me was learn a word every day and use it in a sentence. So next week when you come over here, I need you to tell me what you learned and what it means, the words you learned. And yeah, man, you put me through a lot of work, brother. You know what I'm saying? You put me to the work just to be a normal person. And then from there, we got into the acting. You know what I mean? But it took a long time just to be normal,
No, I think the thing is that what there's somebody asking me, because some people are just jumping on how we originally met. Can you tell that story one more time, how we originally met? People want to know.
I was recovering. I had just got like 9 months clean and sober. I was recovering. I was strung out on just about every drug there was. And I was 9 months clean and sober. And one of my therapists, my psychiatrist said, what made you happy? And I remember when I was 8 years old, I did a play and I stuttered so bad. I stuttered so bad. But I was still cast as Rumpelstiltskin. And he goes, when I did that play, I didn't stutter not one time. He goes, well, then why don't you try acting? And it just what happens that, a few months go by and Bernard's doing a seminar in the neighborhood, saying you can become an actor. So I'm in the back, listening to him, it sounded like fun, I needed to do something. And so I go up to him, I go, hey, man, I want to be an actor. He goes, oh, you can go to here. I go, no. I go, so no. He's telling me where I could go. And I go, no, I want to act with you. I want you to train me. And he paused for a little bit. And you got to understand, in my time, if I wanted something, people would say, yeah, maybe out of fear, but he just didn't just go and just take me in. He looked at me for a little bit and he goes, okay. And then, I went to his class. We did, I think it was 8 or 12-week course. And I had a lot of fun there, man. I really did. But I didn't want to show it. I didn't want to show that I was enjoying myself because I was just this, a stone-faced guy. You knew that.
Right.
And I would go in there, everybody would be all like comfortable, flip-flops and all these actors, want to be actors. Trying to be an actor. And I would go all pleated out like I was going to the dance, creases, my Stacey Adams. And I was standing in the corner because I didn't want to wrinkle my clothes. And Bernard would come over here and say, Emilio, can you please, join the class? And I'd be like, no, I'm going to stand right here. I'm good right here, And then he'd come over and start touching my crease. Remember that? He used to touch my creases on my clothes.
But I told you about the mustache that if you don't.
Oh, yeah. He goes, you're actually,
good-looking guy.
Big mustache, but he goes,
you're actually. Big mustache like this.
It was big. It was huge. It was over my lip.
Yeah.
And then you said, you're actually not a bad-looking guy.
Yes, I said you're a very good-looking guy.
I didn't want to say that.
Yes, I said you're a good-looking guy, but you're hopeful.
And then you said, but you're covering everything with your face. You go, what are you hiding from? And I never thought about that way, But what was I hiding from? So then I remember he goes, I want you to, next week when you come in, I want you to shave it off. Remember that? And I go, and I wasn't going to shave it off because that was me, right? So right. Then the following week I came and I trimmed it. He goes, Emilio, I thought I told you to shave it off. I go, I trimmed it. It's really trim. It's really thin now. He goes, next time you come to class, shave it off or don't come to class at all. And what he was doing there, it was just letting me expose myself. You see, in acting, you have to expose yourself. You got to let come from what's here. And if it's real, it comes out over here. And he taught me that. And it was a slow, you know, it was a, Bernard, I know I probably was the hardest student you ever had because it was a slow process, man, you know. And then when class was done, it was 12 weeks, he said, listen, I want to work with you one-on-one. You have a lot, he pointed to my heart, he goes, you have a lot of stuff right here. But when it's so real, it's always going to show here, so it's going to be real. So I want to take you underneath my wing. Now, Bernard has never been a non-expensive teacher, you know, because he was so good. And I said, you know, I don't have the money to pay you hourly. He goes, listen, I travel a lot back to New York, you know, back to New York, back and forth, when we bartered. Remember that? I used to take you to the airport and come back. Yeah. And it was beautiful, man, you know. Remember I picked up your kids from school, bro? Remember how beautiful you trust me? You know, you got to understand, I was this rough-looking guy. Sometimes I go to his house in my lowrider, you know, and but he entrusted me with his family, and I'll never forget that. Because you know what? Because back then, the way I looked and the way I acted, nobody really wanted to even much look at me, much less let me into their home like you did, you know. And I'll never forget that, man. You know?
Now, the idea is that you had this beautiful thing, and talking about the car is that I asked you, because I'm traveling to Europe all the time, I said, why don't you take my car, go to the airport, come back, and then take your car, go home. Right. And you told me that no one ever trusted you with somebody else's car. Right. I said, yeah. Well, you're a beautiful person. But the person that always knew who you're beautiful was my father.
Yeah, Mr. Hillary, man. What a beautiful guy that guy. You know, after class, you know, me and Bernard, you know, and his father, you had to meet his father, man. I mean, but, you know, we would go to the backyard, and he was from the Holocaust. He was a prisoner of war back in those days, you know. And when he would tell me his stories, it made my life like, what am I fighting about? Who do I hate? When this guy was, you know, the most compassionate man, how they killed his family. He told me some horrific stories. I mean, I don't know, maybe he told you, I don't know. I just don't repeat them because they were something that came from his heart.
I know,
he would break down. It's really weird. I would go to Bernard's house to break down and let out all the stuff that I had in my heart. And then I would go in the backyard and his father would break down, you know? I never told you those things, bro. But he would, you know, the tears would come down. Like, and it was just a whole circle of love there, man, you know? Beautiful.
He lost his brothers, his sisters. He lost his entire family. They were taken and beaten and shot because they were Jewish. He was looking for your soul. And that's what I noticed about you, is that your soul. And what people cover up is they cover up all the beautiful things, and only through your vulnerability do you discover your strength. That's a very famous quote. Only when you're willing to be vulnerable do you find the strength to fight for injustice, to fight for the animals, to fight for things. But you have to be sensitive. And usually what it is in a gang, when I met you, I had never taken anybody out like you before. Because and I said, you had a very kind of strange way of the way you lived. And I said, no, because acting teaches you to be human and to have empathy. And I had
none of that.
Right. But I wanted you to love somebody that you never, ever loved. And that was you.
Myself, yeah.
Because until you love yourself, that's the only time you can love others, and that other people can love you. It's the most important thing.
And I carry that with me all the time. And people, and that's one of the sayings that you taught me many years ago that I tell the people now, because it is so important. Before you can love anybody, you got to love you, man, you know. And I really hated me, you know. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. In fact, all the words you taught me, Bernard, in those couple of years, because it was always every week for 2 years, man. And because it was my fix, you know. It was the thing. I was a recovering addict, and he was like my high, you know. He was throwing me so many things, and even though I would leave, I would drive back home, and I'm thinking, nah, he's wrong, man. But then, as time went on, everything he had told me, it was true. It was really, really weird. You know, to get his book, man. Stop. I mean, I'm not even here to promote anything, but I will tell you, man, if you get, you know, Stop Acting, Start Living, that book alone will change your life. Because, and I told him, I go, bro, why are you giving all the secrets out? You know, because everything you've taught me is in this one little book. And, you know, he goes, because I'm here to teach. You know, I got to show people to love. I got to show people how to live. And I go, and that made me even more, that's a badass dude, you know? That's a badass dude. And I say that, you know, when I say that, you know, I mean that with the most.
No, I love being called that. That's very.
You know, because you're not holding it in. You dig? I mean, you buy the book for $15 and you get a lifetime of. And you know what I do with the book? I have it in my office. I refer back to that book, bro. I refer to that book. You know, just to when I feel a little bit going somewhere, like my mind goes somewhere else, I just go over there. You know, that and the Bible. I read the Bible. I'm not a real religious guy, but those two go hand in hand. Because it's a book of life. They both are. You dig what I'm saying? Otherwise, I mean, I don't just say shit. When I say something, when I co-sign for you, it's real deal. Because I've never been about fake, you know?
I know that whenever I need you, you're here for me. And I have to tell you that you became part of our family. And I knew that this was different. I mean, when did you hang out with the Jewish family?
Never.
Never. No.
Yeah.
No.
Took me to synagogue. Remember you?
I remember.
I
said I wanted you because there was a humanness in that you and I are really the same. We all want the same thing.
Right.
We all want to be loved. We all want to be understood, and we all want to be accepted. And what you did is your gang was your family, because your family, your real family, didn't give you the things you needed.
You know what? I've done a lot of soul searching, Bernard, over the years, and you know what, man? You know, I go back to my family, and my family was, you know, they do what they could do for us, my mom and dad. But you know what, man? I was a fucked up kid, bro. I really was. I think especially when I lay down in bed, now that I'm older, you know, I reflect a lot. And you know what? I wouldn't want me neither. You know, I understand now why nobody wanted me around, because I was bad. I was really, it's a fucked up mind, bro, you know? And it took so long, even till now, I'm still learning. You know, you always taught me that, you know, we're always learning. You know, don't ever think you know it all, because that's when you lose. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So.
The idea is we're always learning, because we're either getting better or getting bitter. That's how it works.
Right. Very good. I will use that. I will use that.
Steal that, take that, better or bitter. That's really what we are. We're just a work of progress. The idea is that if you have information, what happens, the more I share it, the more I get back. The more you give, the more you get. See, if I give you something, my hand is now open to receive. Right. If I give you nothing, you get nothing. Right. So the more you give, the more you get. It really is. If somebody's worried about money, when you give somebody else money, money's going to come to you. You need
it's really weird.
And the thing is, I want to say something you said about your mind was fucked up. Yes, the mind was fucked up because you had fucked up ideas. Because our mind is like a bank, okay? You put good things in the bank, you have good things. You have positive thoughts in the bank, you have negative thoughts. The brain doesn't think for you. A lot of people get confused. The brain does not think. You tell it what to think. It's what you put in. It's like your house.
With this, you know, I've been speaking to kids in schools for years, and he told me, listen, you need to go out there and start talking to kids. You need to start giving back. He taught me that, and it's true, so true, bro. Because I would go, and it's just, but when you give, it has to be from the heart. You can't give because, hey, I'm gonna give it, I'm just gonna come back tenfold. No, that's bullshit. You give from the heart, like really give, and don't expect nothing.
Right.
And it comes, man, and it comes really, really. And he taught me that so many years ago, and to this day, I still go speak to kids. You know, I read to kids, I speak to kids. You know, it's just.
I think what you're doing with kids is amazing, the way you talk. In fact, I heard about what you were doing. Is someone came and studied with me and say, did you know a guy named Emilio Rivera? He's talking about you. And that's when I heard that, I was smiling, because you are an inspiration. Because I don't know anyone, or will there anyone come from where you've come from to the very top. You were in Sons of Anarchy, for those of you, MAYANS M.C. You're in Z Nation, right? Are you in Z Nation? Is that
we're done with that. We finished that a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
but
you have done. And who are some of the actors you've worked with? I just want you to say, who are some of the big stars you work with? I'm just so excited.
It's pretty much who I haven't worked with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like Tom Cruise, Jim Carrey, you name it. Yeah, I've been blessed, man. You know, I've been. It's
what
amazing.
was the movie you were in a movie that was nominated for Best Picture? What was that name of? I forgot that one.
Traffic.
Traffic. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And what about
Tom Hardy?
You were the credible part with the woman that you're like a murderer. You're after her. What was the name of that movie?
Oh, Ashley Judd and Jim Caviezel.
What's the name of it?
High Crimes. High Crimes.
Oh my God.
That was back in 2002, man. You know, it's just been a blessing, brother. You know, I've had such a great fun career, but you know what, brother? I'm just getting started. That's what it feels like right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just so beautiful. But you know what? This is the deal. Let me tell you something about actors, though. Let me tell you this real quick before I forget. Is that you have to be happy for your fellow man, your fellow actor. Don't be hating on them, because see what happens when you start worrying about what they're doing, you start forgetting about what you have to do. You dig what I'm saying? So just do your things, do your work, because it is work, it's hard work, and forget about it, and just wish him the best. Don't worry about what he's doing, what job he got that he didn't get. Forget about it. Let it go. There's another one. There's a lot of work. But the thing is, you have to do the work. You know what I mean? You got to do the work. Because if you're not, he is.
No, the idea is that, you know, your job is to just focus on what you're doing, not what
that's it. That's it.
Because if you keep your eyes off the prize, you will never know what's there for you. Don't worry about them. Think, what am I doing? And you're not competing against anybody. And you're not about, it's about love. And it's about giving. And that's what this moment is. That's the beautiful moment that you've come on. And people from around the world are saying, I never heard of this story. And the thing is that the more you talk.
It would be a great movie, Bernard. It would be a great movie. You know, people say, write your story, the story about, you know, your life. And again, you know, the story actually starts when we met. That's when the story starts and where it went. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has that. There's so many stories out there, you know, from the neighborhood, you know, everybody killing each other, and it was terrible. Drug, you know, it's been said many times, and so a lot of people want me to do my story and stuff, and I tell them that I go, there's so many people that have had it worse, but you know, the story starts is when I started here with Bernard Hiller.
You know what? Maybe we need to make a movie about this to teach people.
I think so.
Because you did something that is the most important thing, is you asked for help. You asked for help. That's the beautiful thing. And if you hadn't asked for help, what would you have been now? What would you have been if you never asked?
I'll be honest. I'd be heroin for 11 years, and then the last 9 months, last 8 months, I was on crack cocaine. I mean, and I had money. I always worked. I had a great job, so I didn't have to buy drugs. So I could do a lot of drugs, and I did a lot, believe me. But by the time Bernard got me, this left eye would just slip, turn white, and then this hand would just be twitching all the time. It took about a year and a half for everything to come back to normal again, you know, and at the same time as my body was recuperating, he was building up my mind, you know.
You know, Emilio, your heart, I love your wife. She's an actress too, right? Your wife?
You know, actually, she's paying my wife on a show right now. We're doing a show called The Family Business, second season with Ernie Hudson. And she's one of the leads now. She got 11 episodes, you know.
So she's acting as well.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, listen, we're all sort of frozen in time. So we're all having a little bit of technical things today. Listen, I love you. Let's stay in touch.
I love you too, brother.
And we'll talk soon. I love you guys. We'll be in touch. Till then, keep going, keep growing, and keep sharing all your passion and all your wisdom. Thank you so much, Emilio. Until next time.
Okay.
Talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.